Media Academy Radio,
where hit music lives.
I love radio, music, and more.
Yes, Media Academy Radio.
Excite.
Watch me. All the hits.
Is Yes Media Academy Radio. Good afternoon and welcome to Global News. In the headlines, Israel Gaza, Hamas chiefs targeted as truce efforts stall. New York prosecutor says Trump inquiry now criminal. Japan pulls controversial asylum seeker bill after criticism. And from the Nigerian world, states have financial responsibility to judiciary, legislature, says Malami. From the world of entertainment, Naomi Campbell, supermodel, becomes mother to baby girl. From the exciting world of sports, Euro 2020, France recall Benzema after 5 years. Now the news in details. My name is Olatunde Idowu. Israel says it has targeted the homes of Hamas commanders as deadly fighting with Palestinian militants in the Gaza Strip enters its 10th day. Israel said it had tried to kill Hamas military chief Mohammed Deif several times. Overnight, 2 militants died in a strike on an apartment. Fresh barrages of rockets were also fired into Israel, with Hamas saying it had targeted an airbase in the south. Ceasefire moves continue behind the scenes but have made little headway. France filed a resolution calling for an end to the violence with the UN Security Council in coordination with Egypt and Jordan, but it is only a draft. The US has been blocking attempts to issue a joint statement, although it has called for a ceasefire. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said its military operation in Gaza will continue as long as needed, but also told authorities in the south that it could end within several days. The New York Attorney General's office says it is investigating the Trump organization in a criminal capacity. A spokesman for the state's top prosecutor, Letitia James, said the inquiry into Trump's property company was no longer purely civil. James has been scrutinizing the ex-Republican president's financial dealings before he took office. The Trumps deny wrongdoings and say the inquiry by a Democratic prosecutor is a political vendetta. Civil cases usually have to do with inquiry. Civil cases usually have to do with injury to individuals or other private parties, including businesses. Criminal law applies to cases where the damage is thought to affect society at large, including the state. Japan's government has withdrawn a controversial immigration bill after mounting public criticism. Debate over the bill had in part been sparked by the recent death of a young Sri Lankan woman held in an immigration detention facility. The bill will have made it easier to deport failed asylum seekers and given more power to immigration authorities. Japan has a significantly lower rate of accepting asylum seekers than other developed countries. The legislation was largely aimed at dealing with the long detention of asylum seekers after their applications failed. Currently, deportation cannot be enforced while an asylum application is still pending, and there is no limit to how many times refugees can renew their applications. The proposed bill will have allowed asylum seekers to file only 2 applications before being deported unless there was new justification for a third consideration of the case. Bars, shops, and cultural spaces across France are set to reopen as the country starts lifting restrictions aimed at preventing the spread of coronavirus. As of today, groups of up to 6 people will be allowed to eat together at outdoor restaurant terraces. France's nationwide curfew is also being pushed back from 19 hours to 21 hours. Some medical experts in the country had raised concerns about the number of new daily COVID-19 infections, which now average about 13,000. But that figure is far lower than the peak of more than 40,000 daily cases recorded as recently as last month. France's vaccination campaign has also been accelerating in recent weeks, with more than 20 million people now having received at least 1 dose and almost 9 million having received both. The government had set a target of vaccinating 20 million people with first dose of the jab by mid-May. 77 people are missing after a barge off the coast of the Indian city of Mumbai sank amid a severe cyclone. The Indian Navy said it has rescued 184 of the 261 people aboard. 35 people have also been rescued from another of the 3 other commercial barges stranded at sea in the wake of Cyclone Tokte. Tokte weakened after it made landfall on Monday, but at least 19 people have already died in the storm. The stricken barge, owned by India's Oil and Natural Gas Corporation (ONGC), was carrying personnel deployed for offshore drilling. When the storm struck, the barge anchors gave way and it began drifting. Singapore's government has said there is no truth to an assertion by Delhi's chief minister that a new variant of the coronavirus has been detected in the city-state. Delhi's chief minister, Arvind Kejriwal, had called for a halt to flights, saying a new Singapore strain was extremely dangerous for children. He added that it could result in a third wave of infection in India. Singapore's Ministry of Health has reacted strongly to the claims. The officer involved in the fatal shooting of a black motorist during an attempted arrest in North Carolina will not face criminal charges. The Elizabeth City District Attorney told reporters the police shooting of Andrew Brown, 42, was justified. Officials say Brown drove his car at police during the 44-second encounter. Brown's family say he was executed. A private post-mortem examination said he was shot 5 times, including in the back. But authorities said that Brown was shot twice, in the shoulder and the back of the head. The other injuries were shrapnel wounds, they said. His death on the 21st of April sparked protests against police brutality and comes at a time of heightened scrutiny over the use of police force on African Americans. Still listening and viewing Global News, coming to you from the studio of Yes Media Academy Radio, the first Media Academy Radio. Let's bring you our thoughts of the day. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. I bring that back to you once again. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Going over to the world of entertainment. From the very exciting world of entertainment this afternoon. Naomi Campbell, supermodel, becomes mother to baby girl. Everyone loves that. And whenever Joseph, the one I love to call May or MJ, is in the house this afternoon, first of all, allow me to use this medium to say happy birthday to you. Wish you the very best and many more news to come your way. And I hope you just get accustomed to this. Thank you so very much for joining me. I hope you're celebrating.
Of course.
Trust you. I know you. You're doing well. All right. Naomi Campbell, supermodel, becomes mother to baby girl. Tell us more. Take it away from there.
Thank you very much, Olatunde. Good afternoon and welcome to the entertainment segment of the news. I am Oluwamayowa Joseph. Supermodel Naomi Campbell has become the mother of a baby girl. The 50-year-old announced the news on Instagram as she shared a picture of her hand holding the baby's feet. Designer Marc Jacob was among those to congratulate the London-born model, who had not previously revealed that she was to become a mother. No further details about the new baby has been made available. Florida will appear for San Marino at this year's Eurovision Song Contest. It has been confirmed. The rapper features on Singer's Senhit's track Adrenalina, which will open the second semi-final on Thursday. There was uncertainty before the event in Rotterdam on whether he would make it to the Netherlands, but he arrived from the US early on Tuesday. Earlier this year, Florida said he had no prior knowledge of the contest before he was approached to do his first track. Florida appearing in this year's Eurovision says that it's helping him represent one of the smallest countries in the world. And that's it on the entertainment segment. Let's go back to Olatunde for more of the news.
A big thank you to you, May, and hope we enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you for joining me. This is Yes Media Academy Radio, the first media academy radio. Let's bring you all the stories making the round from Nigeria. There was confusion in Kaduna, the Kaduna state capital, yesterday Tuesday when thugs attacked workers at a rally organized by the Nigeria Labour Congress as the strike in the state entered the second day. The NLC, in a statement by its acting General Secretary Ismail Bello, condemned the attack and threatened to embark on a nationwide strike. Earlier, the state governor Nasir El-Rufai had declared the NLC President Ayuba Waba wanted for economic sabotage. The state workers had on Monday begun a 5-day strike over the governor's retrenchment of 45,000 workers and the alleged anti-labor policies of the government. The strike paralyzed the state on Monday as civil servants, aviation and rail workers joined the industrial action. Minister of Labour and Employment Chris Ngige has given assurance that the strike by legislative and judiciary workers will end by next week. He gave the assurance after a meeting at the Supreme Court, Abuja, with some heads of courts led by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN Justice Ibrahim Mohammed. The minister said a series of meetings with stakeholders, including state governors, have been scheduled for between yesterday and tomorrow to iron out the few remaining grey areas. He said the meeting, which was held at the chambers of the CJN, was to discuss issues surrounding the implementation of the financial autonomy provision for the judiciary, for which court workers have been on strike since April 6 this year. At the meeting, Justice Mohammed, upon being briefed on the progress made so far on the negotiation to address issues raised by the striking workers, urged Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, JUSN, to end the strike. And moving over to the very exciting world of sports on Global News this afternoon. Euro 2020, France recall Benzema after 5 years. Pels is in the house this afternoon, and I don't know, Pels, is this good news for Benzema after 5 years with the issue of Valbuena? But then, tell us more from the exciting world of sports.
Good afternoon, Olatunde. Karim Benzema was named in France Professional Euros 2020 squad, giving the Real Madrid striker a shock international recall after a 5.5 years absence over his alleged role in blackmail plot. The 23 years old has not played for France since October 2015, but is now set to line up alongside the World Cup winners Kylian Mbappe and Paul Pogba at the delayed European Championship. He said, and I quote, "So proud of this return to the France team and of the trust placed in me." He also added that thank you to my family, my friends and my club, and to all those who have always supported me and given me strength every day. Tyson Fury does not expect to face Anthony Joshua in a next fight after Deontay Wilder requested $20 million to step aside and allow their doubts to go ahead. And Fury agreed to face Joshua in a highly anticipated fight in August, but Wilder's team forced an arbitration hearing which concluded he had a contractual right to face Fury for a third time and by 15th of September. And Fury said, and I quote, "Wilder asked for $20 million to move over. Looks like I will have to crack his call again." And that's all on sports. Back to you, Olatunde.
It was a super time watching these two guys. I would really love to see them the third time. Let's see who takes it away. Thank you so much, Pels. Enjoy the rest of the day. That wraps it up on Global News this afternoon from Yes Media Academy Radio, the first Media Academy Radio. But before I go, let me bring you a recap of the stories I brought to you earlier. In the news, Israel, Gaza, Hamas chiefs targeted as truce efforts stall. And New York prosecutor says Trump inquiry now criminal. Japan pulls controversial asylum seeker bill after criticism. States have financial responsibility to judiciary, legislature, says Malami. From the entertainment world, Naomi Campbell, supermodel, becomes mother to baby girl. From the exciting world of sports, Euro 2020, France recall Benzema after 5 years. The news was produced and edited by Prosper Bolade Shomi and delivered by Olatunde Idowu. The Yoruba version of Global News comes up very shortly. A big thank you